Hi there, this is FS Go here, one of your Forex mentors, and in this lesson, we're going to be talking about support and resistance. Now, without any further waste of time, let's get started. What resistance is? Resistance refers to points that the price rises to but never breaks through before dropping again, in bracket ceiling. Firstly, I need you to think of resistance as a ceiling. Now, let me show you exactly what I mean by that. Let's say we have a push to the upside by the market, and at this point, it stops and then it drops. It happens again in a repetitive manner over and over again. And then what you realize is immediately at this point right here, the market tends to meet and then reverses. What you need to do is that you need to connect all these points with a line. And then basically, we call this a resistance line. Let's continue. Have a resistance zone than a resistance line. I'm saying it's better to have a resistance zone than a resistance line. Why? Because resistance in actual market is not exactly like a brick wall, meaning it's more like a fence. It can be bent depending on how the market price is moving. So what you need to use is you need to use a resistance zone. So let's say we have a resistance zone right here. Having a resistance zone, you're able to have accuracy of exactly where your resistance would be. So let's say, for instance, our market price is ranging in this manner. It's coming up, the next one is higher, the next one a little bit below, the next one is in the middle, and the next one it touches your peak. So yeah, having a resistance zone, you can be able to cater for all the touches you have for resistance. As long as the market price is still below that zone, is then confirmed to be your resistance. Because let's say now you want to use your resistance line, and we move this thing here. Where would you put your resistance line? Let's say you put it here. And then when you put it here, what about this touch here? What about the touch there? Okay, hence I'm saying it's better to have a zone. So let's continue. Resistance creates a bearish momentum, in other words, selling opportunities. So what I mean here is you might ask yourself, why do we have a resistance? We have a resistance because of excess suppliers versus demand, meaning there's a lot of sellers at that point whereby, let's say, for instance, our market price is ranging in this manner. And then the reason this price is being prevented from going up is because we have an excess supply of sellers here. There's a lot of sellers here saying that this price is too high, and then we're looking for now selling opportunities. Hence I said selling opportunities. So yeah, the reason we have resistance is because there's a seller resisting that price from going above it, creating what we so call a selling pressure. Now I want to show you all of this in an actual market. Okay, now let's say that we're in our charts. So firstly, in order for you to know when to identify your support or your resistance, you're going to find your resistance in a consolidation channel. Meaning, let's say we have a consolidation right here. What a consolidation channel is when we have a market price ranging in an up and down manner. It's going up and down without having an overall direction of a buy. Like this one doesn't have an overall direction of a buy or an overall direction of a sell. So it's just going only in a straight manner. So you're going to find your resistance mostly in these parts. Now let's look at this price here. I'm pretty sure that you can spot it. So it's better to have a resistance zone than a resistance line. So let's use our zone right here. So let's say now we have our zone. You have to make sure that your zone caters to all the touches you have to your market. Okay. Now you might ask yourself, how do you identify a resistance? You identify a resistance by the number of touches it has to your zone. Having 3 touches qualifies to be a resistance. Any touch less than that number only acts as a probation to your resistance. It's not yet confirmed to be a resistance. And extra touches we have to that zone only strengthens your resistance zone. I did say that resistance creates a bearish momentum, meaning every time we have a resistance, we're looking for selling opportunities. We're looking for where the market will come there and then act for a sell. As you can see right here, every time we have a resistance, we need selling opportunities. Secondly, we have here CAD Swiss franc. I want to do a lot of charts with you guys because I want you to be able to identify support and resistance very easily. So okay, secondly here we have what? We have a resistance right here. As I said before, you need to make sure that your resistance caters for where there's most touches in your graphs. As you can see right here, I have 1, 2, and 3. Now that confirms to be my resistance, and then we have 4 right here. You might ask yourself, why am I not counting this one? The reason I'm not counting that one is because this is a fake out, meaning it's there to hook up buyers in a sell motion. When we have a resistance, we're looking for what? We're looking for bearish momentum. We're looking for sells. What the market makers did here is that they want you to think that this will go for a buy. Hence, I call it a fake out. Meaning, I want you to go the opposite direction of where I'm going. Hence, a fake out. Okay? This is basically how you identify your support and resistance in actual market. So let's continue with our lesson. Okay? And B, this is very important. When price breaks above the resistance, it creates a bullish momentum. In other words, buying opportunities. Let's say we have a resistance line right here. And then, firstly, we have what? A push to the upside by the market. We first confirm our resistance by 3 touches, and then we have a strong resistance. Our market breaks above our resistance. And then immediately after it breaks our resistance, we're now looking for what? We're looking for bullish momentum. Meaning we're looking for what? Buying opportunities. Because this is no longer our resistance, it's now our support. Okay, let me show you this again in an actual market. So firstly, we need to do is we need to discover where we have our resistance. So we need to find where we have most touches. As you can see right here, we have most touches at this point. First, we need to confirm our resistance. 3 touches, now it's confirmed to be resistance, as I've shown you before. Now, what you see here is that we have an overall buy trend, right? At this point, we have a consolidation. Our market price finally breaks our resistance with a strong wick. What happens is the market went through our resistance and then it's not a fake out. So it broke through our resistance. And I said that immediately at this point, we're now looking for what? Bullish momentum. What I mean by that is immediately after this point, this right here now is no longer our resistance, but what? Our support. Because now we're looking for what? We're looking for bullish momentum. We're looking for buying opportunities right now because it's no longer our resistance. Okay, so let's continue with our lesson. A downtrending resistance. Let's say we have a bearish channel going this way. What you need to do is we have our trend line here. As I said before, it's better to have a zone than a line. So we're using a zone here to cater for all the touches we have to the market. So the reason I'm calling this a downtrending resistance is because this is a trend line that is going down at the same time resisting this point from going above it. Hence, I'm calling it a downtrending resistance. So I want to show you how to spot this in an actual market. So now let's say we have a pair right here, and then you need to find your downtrending resistance. What you need to do is, firstly, you need to create our first line. You need to make sure we connect to where most touches are. Now our first line will be like this. Our second line will be right here to create a zone. So here, now that I've created my zones, I need to see how many touches I have to my resistance to make sure that it qualifies. We have 1, 2, and then 3. Immediately it qualifies, and then extra touches making this zone even stronger. So basically, that's how you discover your downtrending resistance. Okay, so now let's go back to our lesson. And then that's it for resistance. Let's go to support. Now, definition of support. Support refers to the points that the price drops to but never breaks through before rising again, in bracket floor. Now, opposite to your resistance, your support is now your floor. I need you to think of a support as a floor, meaning the market price must be above it and not below it. And as I said before, it's better to have a zone than a line. So have a support zone than a support line. Having a support zone, you're able to cater for all the touches you have to your line. So now let's continue. Support creates a bullish momentum, in other words, buying opportunities. Now, similarly to your resistance, when you have support, it means you have excess demand versus supplies, meaning there's a lot of buyers here preventing this price from going below it, saying that this price is too low, is now an opportunity to buy. Hence, we're looking for what? We're looking for buying opportunities here. We're looking for buying opportunities every time our market price touches this zone right here. We're looking for bullish momentum. A bullish momentum is like a bull. It's something that goes up, and then a bearish momentum goes down. Okay? Let me show you all of this in an actual market too. So now let's say we have a pair here, CAD Japan. Now what you need to do is you need to take first your zone to cater for all the touches you have to your zone. And then just like that, we have now our our support. Why? Because of many touches we have. Firstly, we must confirm by 3 touches. That is now my support. Then after touches strengthening my support. You are able to find your support or resistance when we have a consolidation channel. So that's where mostly you're going to find your support and resistances. Now let me show you another example of your support and resistance. Now we have another pair here, GBP AUD. Now in this GBP AUD right here, I see a break of my support. Let me show you what I mean by that. Let's say I cater to most touches I have to my market. Firstly, we need to identify if this is a support. And then as you can see right here, it's confirmed. And then as you can see right here at this point, the market broke through our support and retested, making it now our resistance. We're looking for selling opportunities, meaning it's no longer our support level, it's no longer for bullish momentum, it's now for bearish momentum. We're looking for sells. Now let's go back to our lesson. When the price breaks below your support, it creates a bearish momentum, in other words, selling opportunities. As I've illustrated you in that chart right there, every time when our market breaks below our support, it makes it now our resistance line because you're now looking for bearish momentum. See, they're very easy to identify and they're very easy to spot too. They help you with analysis. I'll be showing you how support and resistance help with analysis. Uptrending support. Let me show you what uptrending support is. Uptrending support is opposite to your downtrending resistance because now is when we have a bullish trend that goes like this. What firstly we need to do is we need to make sure that we set our uptrending support right here. By what? By having a zone to cater for all the touches we have to our zone right there. So yeah, you can identify your uptrending support by basically having higher lows, meaning you're having lows that are higher as time goes on. So every time we have a low here, we're looking for buying opportunities. So that's basically what support and resistance do. A support creates a bullish momentum, a resistance creates a bearish momentum. So support and resistance is a core of price action trading. Let's go to our chart right now. Now let's start with this pair right here. We have a downtrend. When we have a downtrend like this, having a downtrend means that we're looking for selling opportunities because why? It's a downtrend. We're looking for lower highs. So yeah, having a downtrend is the first step. Now the second step is when to put your support and resistances in a trend. So firstly, let's start by taking our zone. So secondly, we need to identify most touches. Where we have most touches. I see most touches here. I have 1, 2, 3 touches. And the market finally broke and retested. Now it's my resistance. So yeah, as you can see right here, I have a confirmation, a double confirmation for this to become a long sell. Why? Because this point right here, it tested my downtrending resistance. At the same time, it retraced my resistance right here. So that's basically how you discover your support and resistance. Now let's continue plotting our support and resistance. And my second line will be right here where I have most touches. And then lastly, here. As you can see, your support and resistance makes it easier for you to understand how the market is going in a downward trend. Meaning every time I have a downward trend, I'm looking for selling opportunities. Every time I'm in a downward trend, I'm looking for selling opportunities. And as you can see right here, now we have a breakage of our downward trend with a W confirmation. So now, meaning we'll be looking for buying opportunities because it's a support. Now let's go to other pairs. Firstly, what we see is that we have what? We have a bullish trend, meaning we have what? A support structure that we need to make. So firstly, let's have our support right here. And secondly, we need to make sure that it's a zone to cater to all the touches it has to the lines. We have an uptrending support and an uptrending resistance. We need to spot where we can put our support and resistances now. So we need to cater with these most touches. As you can see right here, we have most touches there, and then we have most touches here. Then lastly, we have most touches here. What do you see here? We have a consolidation first level here and a consolidation right here. So consolidations are where, like I told you before, you can identify your support and resistance is easier. So now, Having a support, we're looking for what? Buying opportunities. We're looking for buying opportunities on our support. And having a resistance, we're looking for selling opportunities. So, and then what happens when the market breaks my resistance? We're now looking for bullish movements. We're looking for buying opportunities. And then it hits our resistance, comes back to retest on our support, and again hits our resistance. Now, hitting our resistance on our upward trend creates a strong sell. Why? Because it's double confirmation that it hit my resistance. So basically, this is how you analyze your charts using a trend line and support and resistance. Let's go to the next pair. Now let's say we have a last pair here, and this pair is also in an upward trend. We know that we're looking for bullish movement because we have higher lows. Okay, now let's say that we have an upward trend right here. And as I said before, we need to cater where there's most touches. Okay, now let's say that we have our support there, then we have our resistance here. Now we need to discover where is our support and resistance in a straight manner. So firstly, I see my support here where there's most touches, and secondly, I see my resistance here where there's most touches. And then again, I continue as I spot my support and resistances very easily. Why? Because I see them where there's most touches, as you can see right here. So as I said before, guys, every time we have a support, we're looking for bullish movement. When there's a double confirmation every time, we always see the strong movements. Okay, as you can see right here, now we're looking for selling opportunities right here, and then now we're looking for bullish movement. It tested here, went back down. Now having double confirmation makes a strong buy again. So basically, this is how you analyze your pairs using your trend line and support and resistance. And that's all for me, guys. FS Gold signing out.